The action takes place in two hotel rooms divided by a wall. The two rooms are laid out symmetrically, with the heads of the beds against the dividing wall. Next to each bed is a small night table with an alarm clock and a lamp which is turned on. On the floor next to each bed is a suitcase. Each bedroom also includes a dresser, a small desk with a telephone, lamp, and chair, an entryway with a closet and a switch for an overhead light, and a door leading to an off-stage bathroom. The time is evening. Donna and Donald both enter their rooms. Donna pockets her key as Donald closes his door. Donna closes her door as Donald pockets his key. They both turn on their overhead lights and sigh. Donna carelessly tosses her briefcase on her desk as Donald carefully places his briefcase on his desk. They both remove their jackets. Donna tosses her jacket onto her chair as Donald hangs his jacket up. Donna lets her hair down as Donald removes his tie and loosens his collar. Donna massages her scalp and Donald rubs his neck. Donna tosses her hair accessories onto her dresser as Donald carefully drapes his tie over his chair. She yawns as he stretches. She stretches as he yawns. They both sigh, sit on their beds, and pull off their shoes and rub their feet. She pulls off her stockings as he pulls off his socks. They both rub their feet again. She tosses her shoes in the general direction of her chair as he stands. She stands as he places his shoes under his bed. She rubs her neck as he rubs his eyes. They both fold their arms. She looks straight up as he looks straight down. She lowers her head as he raises his head, and they both unfold their arms. She rubs her eyes as he rubs his neck. She tosses her suitcase onto her bed as he places his suitcase onto his bed.
They both open their suitcases. She ransacks her suitcase as he carefully removes items from his. In order, she tosses the following items onto her bed: a toiletries case, a pair of slippers, a bathrobe, and a pair of pajamas. At the same time, he places the following items in order on his bed: a pair of pajamas, a bathrobe, a pair of slippers, and a toiletries case. They both gather the items from their beds and exit to their respective bathrooms. After several beats, she throws her blouse into the bedroom where it lands in the middle of the floor. A few beats later, she does the same thing with her skirt. Donald then re-enters his bedroom, dressed in his pajamas, slippers, and robe, and carrying his clothes. He folds his clothes, places them in his suitcase, closes the suitcase, and places it on the floor. As he exits to his bathroom, Donna re-enters her bedroom, dressed in her pajamas, slippers, and bathrobe. She tosses her suitcase onto the floor, spilling some of its contents, and starts to exit to the bathroom, but stops. Donna grabs her briefcase and tosses it onto the bed. She opens the briefcase and starts frantically pulling out papers. She dumps the remaining contents of the briefcase onto the bed and shuffles through the papers in a panic. She suddenly stops, then grabs her purse from the chair, rummages through it, and finally dumps it out on the desk. She takes a crumpled sheet of paper from the resulting pile, flattens it out, examines it, breathes a sigh of relief, and kisses it. She stuffs the pile on the desk back into her purse, then recrumples the sheet of paper and shoves it back into the purse as well. She then hurriedly throws the paper on the bed back into the briefcase. She forces the briefcase shut and tosses it onto the desk, just as the phone in Donald's room starts ringing. Donna exits to her bathroom as Donald enters his bedroom with his face and hands covered in soap. Donald struggles with his soapy hands to pick up the telephone receiver. Eventually succeeds, but loses his grip.
Hey, can you hang on a second? Hi. Yeah, just hang on. Thank you. I'll be right back.
Donald exits, running to the bathroom. He re-enters, running, with a hand towel. He wipes his hands, his face, and the receiver.
Oh, man. Hi, I'm sorry about that. I was in the middle of washing up. Everything okay? Ah, okay, yeah. Listen, can I call you right back? Yeah, okay, thanks.
Donald hangs up the phone, heads towards the bathroom, but stops short. He grabs his briefcase, places it onto the bed, opens it, and examines several well-organized file folders. He opens one of the files, pulls out a sheet of paper, and examines it carefully. He breathes a sigh of relief, kisses the sheet of paper, replaces it in the file folder, and replaces the file folder in the briefcase. He closes the briefcase and places it on the desk, just as Donna's phone starts ringing. Donald exits to his bathroom, and Donna enters her bedroom with her mouth filled by a toothbrush and toothpaste. Donna picks up the telephone receiver and tries to speak into it with the toothbrush still in her mouth.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, just a second.
Donna exits, running to the bathroom. The sounds of rinsing, spitting, etc. from offstage. She re-enters running while wiping her mouth on her sleeve. She wipes her face, her hands, and then the telephone receiver.
Hi. Can you hold on just a second? Okay, thanks.
Donna hangs up the phone and exits to the bathroom just as Donald enters his bedroom. Offstage, the sounds of Donna washing up in the bathroom can be heard. Donald picks up the phone, dials, and waits for an answer. The sound of water running is heard from offstage.
Hi. So what's up?
The sound of an improbably heavy object hitting the floor is heard from offstage.
Really?
Oh, no.
The sound of an improbably heavy item being moved is heard from offstage.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Should have seen it coming.
The sounds of Donna gargling can be heard from offstage. These sounds pause each time Donald delivers a line.
Yeah, that does sound pretty rough. Well, I don't see what kind of choice you have here. Yeah, I agree. You'll just have to swallow it.
The sound of Donna spitting and rinsing her mouth out can be heard from offstage. This is followed by the sounds of her washing up in the sink.
No, that's a slippery slope. No, yeah, just wash your hands of it, seriously. No, trust me, you won't regret it.
The sounds of items clattering onto the bathroom floor can be heard from offstage, followed by the sounds of those items being hastily tossed onto the counter. Both Donna and Donald sigh heavily.
Okay. I'll call you tomorrow. Love you.
Donna enters her bedroom and pauses for a moment as Donald hangs up the phone and stands. She sits at the desk, picks up the phone, and dials, while he turns down his bed and prepares for sleep. As she waits for her call to go through, he gets settled into bed. Donald's phone then rings, and he picks up the receiver and sits up.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Everything went smoothly.
Oh,
was
it couldn't
great.
have gone any worse. Yeah, what a nightmare.
And they say chivalry's dead.
Oh, I'm dead tired.
He tried, but I killed the idea.
Well, I think they liked the idea. They want to see more development first.
A first for me, that's for sure.
Well, they're not sure. Look, and, I can't honestly say that I blame them. But, it's always something. It's always the next setback.
I'm gonna sit back and relax for a couple of days. That's what.
Mom, okay, what's it worth to me?
For once, I'd say I've earned it.
Okay, I know. File under paying my dues.
I'm not due back for 2 more days.
I'm too dazed to do anything tonight.
You're right, I think I might.
I can always catch another flight.
Dad, be polite.
Mom, I just had a bite. Not 1 hour ago.
Any snow?
They were out of ice, of course.
Of course, that'd be so nice of her.
Here.
Where?
Why?
When?
How?
Who?
You?
He did?
No, I didn't.
But who was it then?
No, it wasn't me, I swear.
So he still won't admit it.
Oh, maybe it was her. Did you ask her?
Well, he's asking for it.
Before it arrived.
Great. Arrival with the beef.
Believe me, Mom, call her and ask.
Ask away.
Fire away.
Yes. No.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
Yep.
Yup.
Nope. Yeah.
Nope.
Nah.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll hold.
So, how many died? All of them. They're all dead. Well, have you planted any new ones yet? So, it gave you an excuse, huh? And Mom likes it. Yeah, I figured. Well, I didn't get my good taste from you, that's for sure. Yeah, it arrived last week. It's beautiful, yeah. Be sure to thank her. No. I'll call her tomorrow. Of course. I don't really know. Whatever works for you. Next week, then? I'll have to double check. I'll let her know tomorrow. How many again? Well, not sure I'll be able to drum up that many. By Thursday, right? That's what I thought. Just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'll hold.
So, how many lived? All of them? Oh, man, they're all alive? So what, are you going to try a different pesticide? Oh, so you had no excuse then. And Dad hates it, right? Really? Wow. I wouldn't have guessed that. I must have gotten my good sense from you. Yeah, no, I sent it out a couple of weeks ago. I'm surprised it took so long. I wasn't sure if he'd like it, but, hey, tell him it was my pleasure. Yeah, I'll call him tomorrow. Of course not, yeah. Oh, don't I know it? Well, no, that won't work for me. So not next week, then. No. Yeah, but no, I don't need to double check. I won't breathe a word of it till tomorrow. Ooh, that many, huh? Well, good. I'm sure I can drum up that many. So any day but Thursday. Yeah, no, I had no idea. I would have barreled right ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
No.
Yes.
Maybe.
So?
Who?
How?
Twice.
Nice.
A mouse? Yes.
No.
His address?
By a dress?
By a drastic.
Fantastic.
Stick to it.
What a stickler.
Stuck here, I'm afraid.
Perhaps.
Never did.
Always will.
Once in a while.
Not in your life.
Don't forget now.
But then I remembered.
Your membership will lapse.
Running laps around them, I suppose.
Well, how are you disposed?
I'll crowd out smelling like a rose.
How did it arise?
I'll probably get a raise.
Really? Aunt Rose?
Well, she would get a rise out of that.
Sounds like tit for tat to me.
Really?
Huh.
Tommy,
Who's next?
where does it end?
But she's your best friend.
Finders keepers.
Jeepers creepers, Mom.
Credibility.
Well, I would have eaten one.
And a little piece of the pie.
It's impossible, that's why.
A little piece of a big pie is plenty.
The same one he lent me.
No, the elm tree.
Okay, reason one, it's not your problem.
No, it's no problem.
Reason two, it's not your problem.
No, it's no problem.
Reason three, must I keep repeating myself?
No, it's... Must I keep repeating myself?
What?
What?
Not this again.
Dad,
Mom, I'm sorry you're not a grandmother.
grandfather.
I know, Mom.
I know, Dad.
You know, look, I gotta get up kind of early tomorrow.
Look, yeah, it's getting kind of late here.
I love you too, Mom. Okay, give Dad
Mom my
my
love.
love. Good night.
They both hang up their phones, close their eyes, and sigh heavily. Donna rubs her eyes while Donald rubs his neck. Donna rubs her neck while Donald rubs his eyes. They both open their eyes, sigh heavily, rise, and turn off their overhead lights. She pulls her covers down roughly while he carefully prepares his bed for sleep. They both pause before getting into bed, look at themselves in their dresser mirrors, and smile. They both climb into bed, get settled, and turn out their bedside lamps. They both fall asleep quickly, indicated by snoring or unconscious mumbling. A combination of sound effects and lighting will then indicate that they have both entered into a lucid dream. They both sit up in bed, look around, get out of bed, and look around again. Donna scratches her head while Donald rubs his eyes. Donna rubs her eyes while Donald scratches his head. They both peer into the distance downstage and then proceed downstage beyond the hotel rooms.
Who? What? Who are you?
Stop that.
What are you doing here? What am I doing here? What are you doing here? Really?
Please.
Stop that.
Stop that, yeah. No.
No, really,
Really,
please. What's your
What's your
name?
name?
What's
What's
my
my name?
What's your name? Donald.
Donna.
Did you
Did you
say
say
Donna?
Donald?
I said
said Donna.
Donald.
I said my name is Donna, and your name is?
Donald.
Ah, what are the odds?
Oh, you really want to know?
Donald pulls a calculator from his pocket.
No, it's just an expression.
Oh.
He pockets the calculator.
So, Donna, do you mind if I ask what you're doing in my dream?
Huh, your dream? I should ask what you're doing in my dream.
Haha, your dream? It's not like you got a receipt.
Donna pulls a receipt from her pocket.
Well, what do you call this?
Well, I'll be darned.
Old sock.
Wait. The thing's written in hieroglyphics.
Well, it didn't start out that way.
Well, of course not. It probably started out blank.
Well, what'd you do it? I swear it had my name on it.
See? I told you, it's my dream. I can do anything I want.
Donald pulls an apple from his pocket, takes a bite, and offers it to Donna. She declines.
Oh, very subtle. An apple? Really? Well, two can play at that game, bub.
Donna pulls a banana from her pocket, peels it, produces a large knife, unfolds the blade, and rather pointedly cuts the top off it.
Oh.
She offers it to Donald. He declines, and she eats it herself.
Oh. Well, it looks like we're even.
I wouldn't go that far. You look pretty odd to me.
Oh, really? And how do you suppose that you look?
Well, with my eyes, of course.
Good God.
During the exchange which follows, Donald wanders through Donna's hotel room. Obviously put off by the chaos he encounters, he starts straightening up, folding clothes, organizing piles, and so on. She follows behind him, undoing each piece of his work.
I still think I'm the one dreaming and you're just a figment of my imagination.
Oh, really? I think you're a figment of mine. So, I tell you what, what's the harm if we just give each other the benefit of the doubt? It's not like we can prove it either way.
Okay, let's try this. Where were you when you fell asleep tonight?
Hotel room?
Hey, me too.
That doesn't prove anything. Which hotel? Where?
Oh, the Motel Pi, 3.14 miles outside of Podingsville in the great state of...
That's no help. That's where I fell asleep too. Room 313.
315.
Oh, let me guess. You were at the convention today?
Yeah, you got it.
Good Lord, we're right back where we started.
He sees that she has undone all of his work, and he appears to give up trying. However, as she moves back downstage, he surreptitiously places her shoes neatly next to the dresser. He returns to her side before she notices this, and so the shoes remain where he has placed them, undetected by her.
I've got it. Quick. What's my mother's maiden name?
How should I know?
Well, it's good enough for me.
So we're agreed then, the two of us are somehow sharing a dream?
Let's call it a working hypothesis. But this isn't like other dreams, is it?
How so?
I can't quite put my finger on it.
A rubber or plastic hand with articulated joints appears.
Oh. It's got a certain je ne sais what.
You mean a kind of I don't know quoi?
I know. It's one of those lucid dreams. You know, the one where you're aware that you're dreaming?
Are you sure that I am aware? I can only speak for myself.
And don't you forget it. How do you suppose we wound up here together?
No, I'm not going to pull that thing. You just give me a hand. I don't know. Look, maybe we just got our lines crossed or something. Some sort of a short circuit in the celestial switchboard.
Celestial switchboard.
Well, how the heck should I know? It's just a figure of speech. God!
I gotta hand it to you. Could have been.
What, the switchboard?
No, God.
I was using it as an exclamation.
Well, sure, I suppose it can be used that way too.
Oh, no. No.
Oh no, what?
You're not One of those.
One of what?
You know, the religious type.
During the exchange which follows, Donna wanders through Donald's hotel room. Obviously put off by the orderliness she encounters, she starts cluttering things up, unfolding clothes, scattering piles, and so on. He follows behind her, undoing each piece of her work.
What?
And what if I am the religious type? What's it to you?
Nothing, and let us keep it that way.
Fine, you're the one who asked.
Yeah, you're the one who brought it up.
And which one of us used the word God first?
I told you I was using it as an exclamation, not as a noun.
You mean like if I sneezed?
Like, what about if you sneezed?
Phew!
Bless you.
Bless me?
Yes, bless you. It's a customary phrase.
Well, who's doing the blessing?
I am me, not God.
And what does it mean to bless?
Huh? It means to wish you all the best.
So you, Donald, are wishing me all the best.
Yes.
And not God.
No. Not God.
She sees that he has undone all of her work, and she appears to give up trying. However, as he moves back downstage, she surreptitiously unfolds one last garment and tosses it on the floor. She returns to his side before he notices this, and so the garment remains where she has tossed it, undetected by him.
There's no such thing as God.
Can you prove that?
I don't have to. The burden's on you to prove it.
Is that a challenge?
No, really. I don't want to get into this, okay?
What's the matter? You afraid you might be mistaken?
Nope. Are you afraid that I might be right?
Not at all. But you say the burden of proof is on me?
That's right.
Not on you.
That's right.
But I don't claim to have proof of God, just faith in God. And the beautiful thing about faith is that it requires no proof.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about proof is that it requires no faith. So, if you want me to believe that there's a God, you're going to have to prove it to me.
And if you want me to believe that there is no God, you're going to have to prove that to me.
It is impossible to prove a negative.
What'd you think? I was born yesterday? It all depends on what you mean by proof. Very few things can be proven in an absolute sense. You can insist that there's no such thing as a flying spaghetti monster because we've never found a trail of marinara sauce, but maybe we should have been looking for Alfredo sauce instead.
Donna produces a very large magnifying glass. She appears to follow a trail on the floor to the base of Donald's feet. Then very, very slowly, she moves up Donald's legs and torso until she's looking straight into his eye.
Oh, come on, be serious.
I am being serious.
There is no reasonable evidence that God exists.
Is that going to be our standard then, whether or not there's any reasonable evidence?
Sure. What the heck? Why not?
If I can produce enough reasonable evidence, you'll admit that God exists?
Oh, no, let's not go crazy here. Well, let's just say that it would be an interesting way to pass the time. And just leave it at that, okay? I mean, who knows? Maybe, just maybe, I can provide sufficient evidence to the contrary. What then? Will you admit that God doesn't exist?
Probably not. I mean, like I said, I take the whole thing on faith.
Oh, that is such a cop-out.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. In essence, you're saying that no amount of proof will sway you.
There's that word again.
Okay, fine. Then no amount of evidence will sway you.
Okay. Well, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, but I'll warn you though, I've heard a lot about this bridge, and I've been on the road for a long time, and I have yet to see it with my own two eyes.
Oh, yeah.
He returns the magnifying glass to her.
Well, okay. Who goes first?
How about we draw for it? High
All
card?
right.
She produces a deck of cards and shuffles them. They each draw a card and then compare them.
Go! All right, let's see. Oh, okay, I know. How about the fact that we don't need religion since we have modern science to enlighten us?
But we're debating whether or not God exists, not whether or not people should practice this or that or whatever religion.
Fair enough. However, I still say that science trumps God as an explanation for, well, let's just say, just about everything.
So the universe wasn't created then, is that it?
Pretty much. Okay, well, I mean, not in the way that you mean, at any rate. Not with any conscious intent involved. You have heard of the Big Bang.
The sound of objects falling is heard, perhaps glass bottles into a dumpster or some such similar noise.
Sure. It makes quite a racket, but where did the Big Bang come from?
Okay, you're implying that God created the Big Bang?
It's possible, isn't it?
Well, I suppose, maybe, but it's also possible that there's some scientific explanation that we simply haven't figured out yet.
I can't deny it. I guess I just don't agree that science invalidates the concept of God as a creator.
Yeah, but if you believe in God, you're essentially denying the validity of science.
Hardly. Where'd you get that idea?
Come on! Isn't that the big debate, between evolution and creationism? They can't both be true,
Why not?
What do you mean, why not? Because they are mutually exclusive concepts. That's why not.
I disagree. I mean, let's just suppose, just for the sake of argument, that there is a God, and that God is omnipotent. Omnipotent simply means capable of anything, right?
Sure, so?
Okay, so then to an omnipotent power, what seems impossible to us would be like child's play. Just because we consider two things to be mutually exclusive doesn't make them so. Maybe our minds are simply too puny to reconcile them. It's like the behavior of light. When looked at in one way, light behaves as waves. When looked at in another way, it behaves as particles. But modern science accepts that both views are correct.
An enormous coin drops from above. It should be large enough that it can be obviously identified as a huge penny. This prop needs to be weighted internally in such a way that when it lands, it stands on its edge. They both gape at it.
Okay, let me get this straight. You're saying that the Big Bang, whatever its source, created the universe, which subsequently evolved over billions of years to reach its present state. But at the same time, it's equally true that God created the universe in 6 days and that the earth is a mere thousands of years old.
I didn't say that. I mean, although I can't disprove it, I'm not sure I try to base an argument on it. Besides, you're pulling us off track again. We're debating whether or not God exists, not whether the creation story in the Bible is true. An awful lot of people who believe in the Bible also believe that many of the stories it contains were meant to be interpreted symbolically, not literally.
Oh, come on. That is just another cop-out.
Donna flips the coin. It lands on its edge again. They both gape. She picks it up as if to flip it again, but Donald grabs it from her and flings the coin off stage. A crash is heard.
Fine. You want to narrow the focus? Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Which God?
What do you mean?
There have been countless religions throughout history, and hundreds of gods have been worshipped. They can't all be the creator of the universe, huh? Can they? So, will the real deity please stand up?
I understand. There can only be one God.
Oh, so you're going to just throw polytheism out the window, is that it?
Maybe. I guess.
You guess?
Look, I don't claim to have all the answers.
Well, then, how can you support your position?
Do you have all the answers? Because if either of us did, there'd be no debate. The question would have been settled long ago. I can't prove my position. I can only offer evidence, and I think that's true for you, even if you...
A small, remote-controlled truck emerges from under Donald's bed. It circles them, stops in front of Donna, and moves back a couple of times. The sound of a tiny horn. Donna picks up the envelope, opens it, removes the letter, and reads it.
This letter is not for you. Huh. Must be for you.
It's not for you either.
The truck honks again impatiently. Donald replaces the letter in the envelope and places the envelope on the truck. The truck exits under Donna's bed.
Huh. Okay, I will admit that I don't have all the answers either, but what I do have is science. And eventually, science will answer all of these questions.
It will?
Of course.
How do you know?
Well, I just take it on.
Faith?
Science has gotten us this far, okay?
Okay.
What has belief in God produced? Warfare, hatred, division, persecution.
Whereas science has only produced good things like pollution and weapons, mass extinctions, global warming. Good
But
job. Yeah.
Science has allowed us to advance. It's given us agriculture.
Hasn't eliminated hunger.
Well, it's given us medicine.
Hasn't eliminated sickness.
It's given us technology.
Hasn't eliminated poverty.
Okay, and what has faith in God done to eliminate hunger, sickness, and poverty? They're still there, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I mean, we're even on that score, but maybe that's not where this debate finds meaning.
Where then?
Well, your hypothesis is that science will eventually explain everything, right?
Right?
So, let me tell you a joke.
A joke.
Yeah. Why not? Just work with me on this.
Yeah, okay, just knock yourself out.
Okay. Okay. So, an theist walk into a bar and the atheist says, "Ouch! How the heck did the bar get there?" What? You didn't like it?
Very funny. Yeah, don't quit your day job.
Okay. So the question is, why didn't you find it funny?
I don't know. It was just stupid. That's all.
Well, that's not a very scientific explanation.
So what?
So, barley. Is it possible to provide a truly scientific explanation of why that joke isn't funny, or why any given joke isn't funny, or why a joke is funny to one person and not to the other?
I don't follow.
Okay. My point is that there are questions which science will never be able to answer. Like, why is a joke funny? Why do two people love one another? Why do I love chocolate ice cream more than strawberry? Or do you honestly believe that science can provide us with meaningful answers to these types of questions?
Yeah, maybe, given enough time.
Would you want to live in such a world?
Well, why? Would you be afraid to?
A silence. The truck re-enters from under Donna's bed, carrying a different envelope. It circles the two of them. This time it stops in front of Donald, moves back and forth a couple of times, and sounds its horn. Donald picks up the envelope, opens it, and reads.
Don't read this. Here, maybe you should read it instead.
Okay. Don't think about this sentence.
The truck sounds its horn impatiently. Donna replaces the letter in the envelope and returns the envelope to the truck, which exits honking under Donald's bed.
Okay. You don't see that science and faith can coexist?
Nope, I don't see it that way at all. Science is concerned with facts. Faith is concerned with delusions.
Delusions?
Well, believing in God is no different than believing in the tooth fairy or Santa Claus or unicorns.
There's a big difference.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. We know that the tooth fairy and Santa Claus and unicorns are fictions created by people. It's a given. None of them hold the same importance that we attach to God. I mean, they're the creations of people, not the creators of people. But even prehistoric societies appear to have believed in a creator. It's almost as if we're hardwired for such a belief. It appears to be universal. Even totalitarian states can't destroy the belief, only outlaw its expression.
You know, I'm sorry. It sounds nice, but it's a bunch of hogwash. I mean, that's like saying that one isn't an integer because it comes before all the others. You're not giving me any evidence that God isn't a fiction. You're just making an arbitrary distinction between God and other fictions.
But surely there must have been some force which created the universe.
Why? Why must there have been? Maybe before the Big Bang, there was just another state, like pre-Big Bang. Or maybe it's a cycle that just keeps repeating, you know, like a big crunch followed by a big bang. Or, I don't know, just over and over and over again for eternity.
But how can anything, even a universe, exist without some source?
But must that source be God? And okay, even if it were, maybe it's a God that we haven't even thought of yet. Maybe God, the creator, or whatever you want to call it, simply set up the universe like a clockwork device, then walked away without ever looking back. Isn't that possible?
But then you're conceding that there is a God.
Yeah, okay, fine, maybe. But not the kind of God that you believe in. Not a God who pays attention to us at all. Not a God who's listening for our prayers, let alone responding to them. Gee.
Have you ever prayed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, I used to pray for things. Never did a lick of good. When I was 10, I prayed that my sister wouldn't die from cancer. Fat lot of good it did.
Maybe you misunderstand what prayer really is.
It's supposed to be a way of petitioning God for the things that we want. Well, I'm sorry, the things we need.
That's a pretty narrow definition. Make God sounds like some sort of cosmic vending machine operated by coins of prayer.
The sound of coins clattering on a hard floor is heard from off stage. They turn to look.
More pennies from heaven, eh? Nice. Well, at any rate, the idea, the whole idea of a God that we can have a relationship with, that's got to be a bunch of hooey.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. I'll speak for myself, and you speak for you, and maybe that's where we should leave it. Your truth for you, my truth for me, and a third truth for the next poor sucker in line. As many truths as there are people seeking them. One per customer. Why not?
Truth is relative then, huh?
That's the idea.
So then that's the real truth?
Why not?
Because then there is an absolute truth, which is exactly the thing you're arguing against.
Oi! Well, okay, I'll tell you. There is one thing absolutely true that I am grateful for right now.
Yeah? What's that?
I almost never remember my dreams.
Okay. By all means then, dream on.
Well, I'm starting to wish I could wake up, but I can't seem to.
Is it really that bad?
Well, actually, yeah. It is, because you're just like every other religious nut that I have.
Nut?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Believer.
Okay.
You're just like every other religious believer that I have ever met. You're also damn sure of yourselves. You're so damn smug. You're self-satisfied. Your answer to everything is, the truth is the truth. You either believe it or you're wrong. You know how many times I have heard people insist that God exists because the Bible tells me so? What kind of argument is that? I mean, do you really expect to convince people with that? I mean, you cannot appeal to an authority if the person you're debating doesn't recognize it as an authority. Don't you get that? I mean, don't you ever have doubts of your own?
No, not really. But that's what having faith is all about. It's accepting something despite a lack of undeniable proof.
A marble rolls onto the stage. They turn to watch it come to a rest.
Really? So, in all your years as a believer, you never had the slightest doubt enter your mind? I find that hard to believe. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Nothing major. No.
A golf ball rolls onto the stage. They turn to watch it come to a rest.
Okay. All that stuff about the creation of the world in 6 days.
We're getting off topic again.
A softball rolls onto the stage.
Okay, and the parting of the Red Sea and the 10 plagues, Noah and the ark.
This isn't what we're supposed to be discussing.
A bowling ball, a soccer ball, and a beach ball roll onto the stage.
A burning bush speaking, trumpets bringing down the walls of a city, water turning into wine, the sick being miraculously healed, and the dead being resurrected, people speaking in tongues and a handful of fish, feeding thousands of people.
Okay, fine. Maybe I do have doubts.
An enormous boulder, actually made out of foam, rubber, or paper mache, drops onto the stage from above, accompanied by an appropriate sound effect.
Are you happy now? I have doubts.
Then how can you believe?
I just do, that's all.
Well, that's no answer.
Look, you wouldn't understand. Yeah, I have doubts. Probably every believer does. but I can live with them. You think they undermine my faith? Maybe you think that over time they'll wear me down, turn me away? You're wrong. I mean, my faith is much stronger than all of those doubts put together and then some.
Donna attempts to lift the boulder, but it is far too heavy.
Come on, come on, come on. Hey, hey.
Donald picks it up easily.
You act like you never have doubts. What about your faith in science? It seems like every time I see an ad for a new miracle drug, it's followed 6 months later by the ads for all the lawyers. You know what I'm talking about? The have you or a loved one ever been injured or died as a result of taking false hope and all? And you never have doubts about science?
In the long run, science works these problems out, so I do not have the kind of doubts that you carry around.
The boulder suddenly becomes extremely heavy, and Donald drops it. He kicks it and hurts his foot.
Yeah.
Donna strolls over and kicks it easily off stage.
Looks to me like we're right back where we started. I wish there was some way I could explain it so it would make sense to you.
Well, nothing. See, what I don't get is why is it just so important to you? Huh? I mean, like I said, maybe God is an aloof creator who doesn't care what happens to us. Maybe everything's been predetermined, right? Right down to the very words I'm speaking.
Why would an omnipotent God bother creating an entire universe only to turn around and walk away?
I don't know. Maybe to go read a good book or take in a movie. Maybe God's churning out a whole series of universes. We're just part of assembly line work.
I mean, I have to admit, it's a pretty interesting theory, but then how do you account for people who claim to have a personal relationship with God?
Well, maybe they're delusional, or maybe they're simply lying.
That doesn't seem very charitable.
Well, charity is not my responsibility.
So you're going to accuse me of being a liar or merely delusional?
Are you saying that you have a personal relationship with God?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I pray every day. I make time for it. And I don't simply pray for the things I want. It's more of a conversation. I offer thanks. I search myself for faults and weaknesses, and then I present my requests. Not necessarily material things either. I mean, most of the time I'm asking for strength or insight or patience, and most of the time when I do ask for specific things, it's for other people, not for myself.
Okay. I would have to say that I think you are delusional. I don't think you're lying.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, gee, thanks. But then why is it that sometimes the things I pray for actually come to pass? How do you explain that one?
Come on, that's easy. It's coincidence.
Sometimes God speaks back to me.
Well, you know, if you hear voices, you probably should see a psychiatrist, really.
No, not like that. I mean, sometimes I have these inexplicable like epiphanies, sudden insights, or an image will pop in my head, or I'll have significant dream, or someone will say something that answers my question, or a song will come on the radio that answers it, or any number of things.
Sister, you are really kidding yourself there. You're just seeing what you want to see. Your subconscious is playing you for a sap.
Well, at least you call me sister, that's a start.
Oh, there you go. Reading into things.
Freud might disagree.
They've done studies that say that prayer does not work.
Really? They've proven it?
Well, all but. Okay, they'll ask a group of folks to pray for something to happen and another group of folks not to. And they do not find any statistical difference between the two groups.
And that's proof?
Well, it's proof enough for me.
What if...
What if what?
Well, what if prayer only worked once, ever, in the entire history of the human race?
What of it?
My point is that prayer would only have to work once, ever, in order to be a real and powerful phenomenon, but it would have to fail every single time in order to be a delusion. How could you ever measure something like that?
The sound of a bell or chime is heard. A pie, preferably cream or meringue pie, rigged to a fishing line, is lowered from above and slowly moves from one side of the stage to center stage. Donald sticks his finger in the pie, tastes it, and reacts agreeably. The pie slowly starts to move to the opposite side of the stage, with Donald following it. Just as it moves off stage, with Donald about to exit with it, a loud, ferocious roar or growling sound is heard. He looks up, startled, and jumps back. This is followed by a comedic horn, think Spike Jones or an old bicycle horn, and then a laughing sound, perhaps produced on a slide whistle. Donald scoffs and walks away, rejoining Donna, who has been observing the proceedings.
Okay, let's assume that you're right. For the sake of argument, okay?
Okay.
All right, I will grant that, for the moment, that there is an omnipotent God who has a personal relationship with all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Must be a really, really unpleasant sort of fellow to let the world go on the way it is.
Okay.
Disease, death, cruelty, pain, suffering, innocent babies, victimized on a daily basis. In short, a cornucopia of horror and injustice. So God is a sadist, it would seem?
Yeah, the question of suffering. How can God be so loving and yet allow the innocent to suffer? Why is there pain in the world at all? Why are we not immortal? Why do we not enjoy perfect health? Why must we toil? Why aren't infinite riches lavished upon us just for the asking?
Yeah, there you go. Last time I checked, it was the people who came up with the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes, not God.
Well, the short answer is that without darkness, light would have no meaning. Without pain, pleasure would have no meaning. Without hunger, food would have no meaning. The fact that we long for justice is evidence that justice exists. There's no hunger, no need that we experience for which there's not something to satisfy it. We thirst, which suggests the evidence of water. We shiver, which suggests the existence of warmth. And we hurt, which indicates the existence of comfort.
Well, somehow that feels like cold comfort to me.
But without these contrasts, we wouldn't have a universe as we know it at all. Imagine if every time you play poker, you were dealt a royal flush. You grow weary of playing poker pretty quickly. Do people climb Everest because they're assured of success? Or because they think it'll be an easy, comfortable journey?
Oh, yeah, okay. Wait a minute. Something does not add up here.
Why?
During Donald's following speech, a large banner slowly unfurls upstage of them. It depicts a rainbow rendered in shades of gray.
I don't know. It seems so counterintuitive. I mean, okay, I get the whole thing about royal flushes, but, I mean, there's a world of difference between losing a game of poker and losing someone you love. And what about justice, all right? Mm-hmm. You can talk all day about right and wrong, but what's wrong to one person is right to another. Mm-hmm. No, I am sure that Hitler thought that he was making good, wholesome choices. No, look where it got us. Same with Stalin, Pol Pot, the rest of them. Now, obviously, they thought that they were acting in the best interest of the human race. They must have slept pretty well at night, faced themselves in the mirror each morning. So how can we talk about right and wrong? Isn't it just a cultural convention, something learned?
Back to relativism again. You're saying that there's no real right and wrong?
Yeah, I guess I am saying that.
So, for instance, we could say that might makes right?
There has been no lack of cases in which that has been the working hypothesis. Yet
you still bristle at it.
So?
You still possess a conscience.
What of it?
I'm just pointing out that you don't really believe what you're saying.
No? Oh, well, thank you for clearing that up for me. Next time I think I know my own mind, I'll check with you first.
Donna sticks her foot out and
Hey!
pushes Donald in such a way that he trips and falls.
Wait, what'd you do that for?
No particular reason. I just felt like it. Why? Was it wrong of me? Well, aren't you gonna get up? I feel like smacking you around a little bit for no reason. I mean, I just got a hankering. Nothing wrong with that. It is there.
It's very funny.
After that, I'm gonna find some puppies to kick and then frighten some old people and make some little children cry. Then I figure I'll burn down an orphanage and a homeless shelter just for a good measure.
The banner with the gray rainbow snaps shut like a blind that's been pulled, disappearing offstage.
Ha 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 ha. I get it, okay?
Okay.
I have a conscience. You have a conscience. What about the people who don't?
I don't know. I wonder about these things too. Like faith in God doesn't automatically provide me with all the answers, but it gives me confidence that there are answers that do make sense.
Even if you don't ever get to understand them.
Yeah, even if I never understand them.
But isn't that just pulling the wool over your eyes?
No, I didn't say I'd stop trying to understand. I just accept that I might not ever be able to understand. Not every problem has a solution. Not all things can be known. That's just a matter of accepting our human limitations. It's as if...
Suddenly, a general ruckus is heard from offstage, like a large crowd in a panic. They both peer off into the distance, alarmed.
What is that thing?
Oh man, it looks to me like you know what? Oh no, wait, that's not right. No.
No, oh, I know,
What is that thing?
I know. It's one of
What?
those things. No, that's not right.
What is that thing? You know, we must have gotten our lines crossed with a third party.
Wow, people sure are sick.
Whew, I'll say.
The sounds of mayhem give way to uproarious laughter, followed by applause. This gives way to the sound of a large passenger jet approaching, passing overhead, and finally receding. This slowly fades to silence as they continue to look on.
Well, there's no accounting for taste, huh?
I hope that's the end of that.
Yeah, the things that go through people's minds.
Well, there you go.
What?
You're making my point for me.
What, huh?
The things that go through people's minds. We're given choices. See? If the universe were set up as clockwork, everything would be fixed. We'd all be automatons.
Okay, that has always bugged me. All right, if God is all-powerful, why not exercise the power?
You mean why give us free will at all?
Yeah.
During Donald's following speech, a Roomba enters from offstage. As he is speaking, he chases it down, picks it up, and turns it off.
Look, even if I build a machine, I don't let it choose when it turns on and when it turns off. I give it an on-off switch, which I control. So, why are we allowed to choose when we turn on and when we turn off, so to speak? Now, it seems to me like either God should be in control at all times, or else we are not built for a purpose.
Interesting.
Aha, has that never occurred to you before?
No, not that. I was just noticing that you're speaking as if God does exist. And here I thought you were supposed to be an atheist.
Don't read too much into it, okay? I'm speaking hypothetically. It makes the conversation easier.
Like when people refer to God as him as opposed to her or it.
I suppose, but it's a little different. I mean, all sorts of religious books refer to God or gods as one gender or another.
True, but they were written by people who had to grapple with the same language issues we do.
Aren't most of those books considered to be divinely inspired?
Doesn't mean they were dictated verbatim in a booming voice from the mouth of God. It just means that the writers were inspired or believed themselves to be inspired by God.
Well, that's a whole other can of worms. But you digress.
So you're saying that because we have free will, we could not have been created for any specific purpose?
Pretty much.
Some would say that our purpose is to worship God.
That sounds like a steady diet of saltines without the salt.
Depends on how you define worship. It's not just a matter of bowing down and trembling fear and offering praise. It can include things like helping others or fulfilling your potential, for example.
Yeah, but I don't see how any of that requires free will. Why not just program us to bow down in trembling fear and offer praise or fulfill our potential?
Consider the difference between a parent and an inventor, okay? A parent wants to inspire love in their child. It's a spontaneous upwelling of emotion, and inventor merely wants their invention to work properly as if designed. If I were an inventor and I created a robot that said, "I love you, Donna," it would mean nothing. I would know that it was merely the result of various circuits and gears functioning in the way that they were designed to. But if I have a child who expresses love for me, that's a choice, which has resulted from a relationship between two people with free will. You see?
You make it sound all very plausible, but I cannot shake the sense that somehow I am being bamboozled.
Think I'm pulling a fast one on you?
No, I think that you have had one pulled on you, and you're passing the infection along.
The truck re-enters from under Donald's bed, carrying a third envelope, circles them, stops between the two of them, and honks. Donald addresses the truck.
Don't poke the bear!
Donna reaches down and grabs the envelope, opens it, and pulls out a letter which they both read together.
What are you doing in my dream? I'm
The
a little
truck-
dyslexic.
The truck honks and races off.
I guess I haven't done a very good job of presenting evidence.
Well, neither one of us has really. I mean, it's not like we're prepared for this, huh? We're just sort of muddling through.
Like the rest of the human race.
Hey, you made a lot of excellent points.
You've asked a lot of excellent questions.
Thank you. But still not convinced. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize, but I am curious.
About what?
Well, so far we've kept the conversation in the abstract for the most part.
Yeah, because that's the way I like it.
But we're talking about personal beliefs from the most impersonal vantage point.
Oh boy, here it comes.
What?
This is where you tell me I need to accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior, and then strike me with fire and brimstone now, right? I'm a worthless sinner. I'm gonna burn in a hell for eternity, and all that. See, I should have seen this coming. It's pretty obvious that, you got to be a Christian of one stripe or another, probably evangelical, if my guess is correct, huh?
Well, yeah, technically.
Technically!
Well, so you've been waiting for me to what? Proselytize, beat you over the head with the book of Leviticus, threaten you with a comic book version of hell, a red-garbed devil with horns and a tail and a pointy stick?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, isn't that what your Great Commission is all about? Being narrow-minded and intolerant and backwards thinking by about 2,000 years, being bigoted and sanctimonious and judgmental.
Bigoted?
Yes, bigoted.
Sanctimonious?
Yes, sanctimonious.
Judgmental?
That's what I said.
You mean like you're being? Look, Donald, I don't know what your experience with faith, with God, with Christianity has been like, but you can't paint us all with the same brush. That's not fair. You don't really know anything about me personally or my beliefs.
Fair enough, but I do know that Christianity has caused far more harm than good in this world.
That's a pretty big statement, and I doubt you can support it with facts.
Facts.
Yeah.
You want facts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Spanish Inquisition, the Crusades, Manifest Destiny, Conquistadors. How are those for facts? How many Christians were complicit in the Holocaust? What about the Westboro Baptist Church, pedophiles in the Vatican, witch hunts, the bombing of abortion clinics, hypocritical fat cat televangelists flying around in private jets at the expense of those who can least afford it? How about those? Facts. Huh?
Donald, those are all horrible things. But are you really laying the guilt for them on my shoulders? Without knowing anything about me, other than the fact that I'm a Christian. Because, Christianity it's resulted in some good, too. Some good things have come from it.
Name one.
First abolitionists were Christians. Civil rights movement started in churches. Right now, there are hundreds of Christian organizations fighting against poverty, human trafficking, illiteracy. Are you going to condemn them as well?
Yeah, this makes up for all the atrocities I've just named. That is weak tea coming from someone who was raised a Christian.
I never said I was raised Christian. In fact, my parents weren't religious at all. They're atheists or agnostics or something.
Or something.
They don't like talking about faith, so it's kind of hard to pin them down. They don't really care what I believe, so long as I keep to myself.
Well, I don't understand then. How did you get drawn in?
Because every person I've ever met, every single person, has a bottomless pit in the very center of their soul. They try to fill it with prestige and accomplishments, with wealth and status symbols, with sex, with glitz, with reputation, with power, with family, with friends, travel, fashion, art, entertainment, with this so-called fine living, with anything at all. And I could see that I had a bottomless pit too, that I was trying to fill with all sorts of things. But the problem with the bottomless pit is that it can never be filled, not even partially. What was it? What was this pit? Why was it even there? I felt this overwhelming need to fill it up, which drove my entire life, but no matter what I did, it couldn't be filled.
But lots of people have felt that way. Most of us conclude that is just the way life is. That we're built to yearn, that we're doomed to be unsatisfied. Fulfillment is just an illusion, or I don't know, maybe it's some kind of weird evolutionary drive that keeps us moving forward. I just don't see why it has to lead to Christianity or any religion for that matter.
Well, it doesn't have to, but for me it did.
But why?
That's what I started asking, was why? Why were children being shot down in school? Why were the most defenseless always the first victims of warfare? Why was there starvation and disease and every form of anguish imaginable? Why do we taunt and insult each other, attack each other, torture each other? Why?
Yeah, well look, is it not possible that there are no answers to the why? Isn't it possible there's just no meaning to any of it?
I mean, yeah, it's possible, and for a long time I felt that way. And it was downright depressing, but then I met someone who got me to thinking. She didn't try to push her faith on me. She didn't try to convert me or talk about Jesus or press a Bible into my hands. She simply just asked me to consider, in all seriousness, that the hole in the middle of my life was the exact size and shape of God. She planted that thought in my mind, and she walked away. But the thought was like strangely comforting. It rang true. It took root and it grew.
Okay, well, that's all good. That's all good, fine, for you, but I'm not sure it's a solution that I could live with.
I don't mean to insist that you have a hole in the middle of your life. Only you know that for sure. Or that there's an emptiness in your soul which only God can fill. That's up to you to decide for yourself. But I am saying that those things are true for me, and that I found something that helps me live with it all. So don't lay 2,000 years worth of guilt on my head because others have chosen to abuse, pervert, and devour my faith. They were Christians in name only. They judge each of us individually by the fruits of our faith. That's all I ask.
I'm sorry. Really. I was out of line.
Donald, what happened to you? I mean, can't you share it? Sometimes it's helpful to get things out in the open. It's just a dream after all. You can't get more confidential than that. My gut is telling me that there's something you're keeping buried. Maybe you should let it out.
Nah, yeah, I don't think so. Thank you. I mean, I don't want to sound unappreciative, but yeah, I'm going to let sleeping dogs lie. I'm sorry I can't.
That's okay. You don't have to apologize, but can I pray for you?
It's a free country. Just, like not here, not now, not out loud.
Yeah,
please.
of course,
Okay.
of course.
But, sure, fine, maybe.
If I remember when I wake up,
Yeah.
of course. Consider it done.
You feel that?
Sure do. Guess it's ending, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's too bad that we didn't get a chance to.
Chance to what?
Talk politics.
They begin to draw apart involuntarily, as if overwhelmed by a force beyond their control.
Bye, Donald. Take care of yourself.
Goodbye, Donna. You too.
They separate and return to their respective beds. It is established that Donna and Donald are both asleep. This may include snoring or mumbling. A change in lighting indicates the break of dawn outside. The sound of their alarm clocks ringing is heard. They both shut off their alarm clocks and sit up in bed. She rubs her eyes as he yawns. She yawns as he stretches. She stretches as he rubs his eyes.
Wait.
What
What was that dream?
They try desperately to remember, but give up with frustrated sighs. They both get out of bed. She yawns as he rubs his eyes. She rubs her eyes as he stretches. She stretches as he yawns. They both run their fingers through their hair. Donna exits to her bathroom while Donald places his suitcase on his bed. The sound of Donna's shower running is heard off stage as Donald opens his suitcase. Donna re-enters and tosses her suitcase on the bed while Donald exits to his bathroom. Donna opens her suitcase as the sound of Donald's shower running is heard off stage. He re-enters his bedroom and they both rummage through their suitcases. They both pause with uncertain looks on their faces. Donna glances at the common wall between them as Donald glances up at the ceiling. She raises her arm toward the common wall and he raises his toward the ceiling. They both lower their arms, shake their heads, and scoff. They begin removing clothes from their suitcases, then suddenly stop. She notices the impeccably placed shoes by the dresser and picks them up, as he notices the inexplicably unfolded garment on the floor and picks it up. She reaches out and touches the common wall as he reaches toward the ceiling and gazes upward. Lights out.